My name's Danny, and I'm in beautiful Ecuador at the moment, surrounded by lush green nature, and it's really, really wonderful and tranquil here. But the reason I'm here is actually because I'm undergoing a 10-day initiation process into Pranic living. What's Pranic living? Well, basically it's what it says. It's living off prana, and prana is actually the universal life force that we're actually always breathing in, and it's everywhere, and it feeds everything, and it's God, if you want to call it, or whatever. But anyway, we call it prana. So basically the idea is to cut my food intake by at least 80%, and then eventually maybe cut it out completely if I feel like it. But I will have the option to eat if I choose or not. So I'm sort of moving into the whole breatharianism, so living off air or prana. So yeah, this is my 10-day initiation. This is day one. Just got here. It was just really, really nice to meet all the other people. There's about 40 people doing this, so it feels really good to be with like-minded people. And yeah, so the first day is just getting to meet everybody and just settling in. So we're eating fruit at the moment, and that's pretty much what we're limited to, just fruit and vegetables, just raw food at this stage, just for the day. And then tomorrow, as we start the process, it's going to get a bit more intense, so I'll come back to you tomorrow. So day two. Today was a day of just juicing, vegetables, or having your fruit juices. I had both, a couple of them, coconut water as well. So this is just a way of weaning off food, just as we get further and further into the process. I was feeling good, I was feeling fine. I didn't eat anything, even drink anything until about 12. I wasn't feeling hungry at all. So at 12 I went and made myself like a mango and papaya juice, and when I drank it, the sugar in the fruit was just so much. It really just, it was intense. I mean, I've never felt like that before. It was just like I was peaking out on the natural sugars. It was actually so much that it felt really uncomfortable, actually, and I didn't really enjoy it, and I couldn't wait for it to be over. It was just so much energy just running through my whole body and my head, and it was just incredible to feel like that from a juice. I've never even knew that intensity was possible. So things are really changing, already. I can start to feel and sense things incredibly. So yeah, that happened, and then in the afternoon I started to feel quite ungrounded. In the late afternoon I started feeling a lot of energy running through my head. I started feeling my body and my spirit actually, separating a little bit. But that's just the ungroundedness. I used to suffer from anxiety, in my early 20s. I'm 34 now. So much to the point where I always felt like, I was on the verge of vomiting. And I sort of just carried on my life like that for many, many years. And now it's something I totally forgot about, and it's just bubbling up again. So that came with a lot of memories and a lot of uncomfortableness. But, we sat down and had a long meditation at the end of the day. And, things sort of calmed and subsided, and I sort of came back into my body, and I'm feeling much better now, a lot more calmer. Had a good sleep, so I'm feeling good. Day 3. So today is the last day for drinking water before we enter into our dry fast for a couple of days. So I found myself drinking, more water than I usually would, just because subconsciously I thought I had to, fill up on it. So, I've been feeling quite good today. Everything's been pretty cool. So this afternoon we actually went into silence for the rest of the day from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon till night time. And that was actually really wonderful, just to be quiet, just to be in our own zone. It was actually really nice. So in the morning I actually woke up with all these thoughts just coming through, and just all these old insecurities and things just really started to flare up, and it was actually torturous, to be honest. In the morning I couldn't shake it, and I just didn't know what to do about it, and these thoughts just kept coming, more of them throughout the day. So then when we sort of got into the second half of the day and we all got into, just the silence, I really internalized and went in and really had a look at what was going on. And I was reading a book, and it just really helped put things in perspective for me. And just after understanding a few things, it just helped all these feelings subside and actually leave. So it was obviously these things were coming up to be cleared. So I feel a lot better, much clearer now. Quite good. One thing though, towards the end of the evening, I actually fell asleep and woke up sort of in a bit of a panic. Just feeling anxieties and fears and all of these things starting to come up. And I just had this intense feeling to vomit. And I was laying in bed, and I remember just thinking to myself, I don't want to vomit. I just don't want to do that right now. So I just sort of just tussled with that whole feeling for a little while. I was feeling really queasy and a bit off. And I just thought to myself, shit, if I'm already feeling like this, how am I going to feel with a few days of dry fast, with no food, no water? It's going to be very interesting. So that sort of passed. I sort of rolled over, and eventually I fell asleep, and it subsided. So that's what happened in day 3. Day 4. So this morning I woke up feeling pretty energized, really, really happy, really blissed out. Really happy to be alive. Probably the happiest I've actually felt in a very, very long time. So it's the first day of dry fasting. Obviously no food, no juicing, and no water. And my mouth is really dry. Oh God. But I'm not feeling hungry. I'm not really feeling thirsty. It's just more the comfort and the idea of just trying to get this dryness out of my mouth. I've got a really bad cotton mouth right now. So the first thing that I noticed, well, I didn't really notice, but in the morning, the first thing we do is like just some Falun Gong, which is like, Qigong, just some energy work, just on the body, just like Tai Chi almost. And I noticed when I went to bend down and touch my toes that I had no pain at all in my lower back. And this is something I've been struggling with for about 5 or 6 years now. It's just this chronic back pain. And this morning there was nothing, which is really bizarre, because usually when I have to put my socks and shoes on in the morning, I have to like either sit down on the floor or sit on the bed or something, and it was incredible. Nothing this morning, no inflammation, nothing. And that's very interesting. In terms of my energy, it's it happens in waves, is what I'm actually noticing. There's moments where I feel actually really happy and actually really energized, and then that will probably subside after 20 minutes or half an hour. Not that I do anything, I don't go for a run or anything, but it just subsides and it dips, and then I just find myself feeling really tired and depleted, and just not wanting to move around so much. And that's sort of, the waves are sort of, they're quite gradual, but it's something that's been happening quite consistently throughout the day, and I've just been observing it. And one of the big things I've already started to notice just from this first day of dry fasting is my relationship to food and how it's already starting to change. You know, there was a few moments there where I was alone and I was just picturing myself just eating like a mouthful of soup, you know, like pumpkin soup, and just putting it in my mouth and just having a complete orgasm over it and just really, really enjoying it, you know. And that is just amazing. And just that one spoonful, and just the thought of the one spoonful was so gratifying, and I felt so content with that after. I didn't, you know, it's just amazing. It's amazing to me. I wonder how I'm going to be actually, you know, when I do see food in front of me. But it's already starting to change, so that's really exciting to me. Extremely exciting at this point in time. So we'll see what happens in the next few days. I am feeling tired right now though. Super tired. And as I look around at the other people doing the initiation as well, everyone's pretty tired with their heads hanging down a little bit. But we have our moments, you know. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So yeah, this is day 4. This is my first day of the dry fast. I've got another 4 days ahead of me. I've decided to do a little bit to extend the dry fast a little bit more. Usually it's about 4 days, 3 to 4 days, and I'm extending it out to 5, maybe 6. We'll see how I feel. But at the moment, I'm fucking thirsty. The only problem I've got right now is that I actually walked to the top of this hill, and I used up all of my energy to get here, and now I have to walk back down again. Day 5. So I'm feeling pretty lethargic. My mind's a little bit, it's a bit hard to talk, to be honest. It's a bit hard to put string sentences together. I mean, my mind's not really feeling foggy at all, to be honest. It's just more tiredness at this point. I mean, it was the second day into the fast. No water. It's actually a little bit easier than I thought it would be. My body's not really, I don't feel hunger pains or anything. Even thirst, I don't really feel that in terms of the body asking for it. It's more just the intense dry mouth that just drives you just to want to wet your mouth, you know, and just drink something really. I've really been craving cold, you know, just like turning the tap on or the faucet on and just letting cold water run and just splashing that over my face just feels so amazing. Having cold showers feels amazing right now. I don't know why. I've never really been into the cold, to be honest, but it just feels great. And I just find myself even in the evenings, it's quite chilly at times, and I just don't find myself feeling cold at all. Like, I look at my skin and there's goosebumps, but it's like I've disassociated. It's like I can feel the cold on my skin, but it's not penetrating through. You know, it's bizarre. I'm actually not bothered to it. It doesn't go through to my core, which is quite interesting. Today was a day of silence. So we've been observing a complete day of silence, and no one's been talking to anybody. It's quite funny and fascinating just watching everybody walk around. Everyone's looking like zombies, so, you know, I'm pretty sure everyone's going through the exact same thing I'm going through at the moment. So, you know, people aren't really moving too much, slow movements, lots of laying down, lots of people hanging out in hammocks, reading, not doing a hell of a lot. I'm much more intuitive with my body also, I'm noticing, you know, I can feel the waves of energy. I mean, I've felt them in the previous few days, but, you know, it seems to be just getting louder and louder. It's quite incredible. It's amazing because, I mean, there's no water or food in there, so every kind of ripple or shiver or anything that I feel, you know, I can straight away just go into it and see what that's related to and what I'm feeling at that exact moment. That's been quite an interesting path, just to getting to know, the actual body and my vessel. I really have a newfound respect for it. I really, really do. And 2 days into the dry fast, I'm still miraculously peeing. I didn't think there was any water left in my body, but yeah, 3 times today. I don't know, the body actually holds a lot more water than I thought it did, which is quite amazing, actually. The one thing I did notice though is the pee, it really stinks. So it's like it's carrying toxins or whatever from the organs, and it just seems to get worse and worse. I am noticing a lot of body aches, all my joints and all of that are actually starting to hurt and ache a lot more than they usually would. And I guess that's sort of expected, no water for a couple of days I guess would sort of do that. But the interesting thing is that I had this treatment with a holistic chiropractor that we have here, and she blew my mind. She released some trauma. I've been having back problems for about 5 years now. Now the dry fast itself has actually helped ease that inflammation in my back significantly by at least, 70%. But it was amazing going into the treatment, or going into the session with the doctor. She actually went into my body and asked it questions and went into these places like my lower back where I've been carrying all this pain and trauma, and asked my body certain questions as to what it was related to and all of this. And what she found was quite amazing to me. She went back to the point of my conception, and whatever was going on with my parents at that point in time was actually projected onto me. So when I was born with all of these feelings that that I was surrounded by at that point in time, and I've carried them throughout my life unknowingly, and they've actually just completely festered up in the past 5 years. But going back and seeing where this actually came from really helped me understand my path and my journey and why I've gone through the certain things I've gone through. It really helped to release that and really put things in perspective for me. And it was a really, really powerful moment for me, just to understand and allow myself to go through that process. And I feel a lot lighter and a lot just alleviated from all of that. I'm feeling a lot happier, much happier. And the colours, everything just seems so much more vivid. I feel a lot more present, just here, aware. Don't really have thoughts or anything, just happy to be. And that in itself is already, that's amazing. If I was to go home today, then I'd go home very happy, just to have experienced what I've experienced so far, and just to feel the way I feel at this exact moment. It's really incredible. It actually feels really miraculous, to be honest. And now I'm gonna go jump in the pool head first. Day 6. So these days are starting to blur together now. It's been 3 days with no water now. And I don't really feel thirsty. My body doesn't. It's more a mental thing at the moment. Because my mouth is so dry, it just feels like I just want to gargle water, or even just washing my face is pretty satisfying at the moment. But yeah, it's definitely become a mental thing now. just trying to stay strong and keep going. It's really just become about patience and just knowing that everything's fine and all is well. I mean, my body feels alright apart from the lethargy and just feeling pretty depleted in general. But the energy that happens in waves. There are moments when I feel quite good and I feel like even running up the stairs, and there are moments when I just can't really even talk. I actually had a really solid sleep. It was probably one of the better sleeps I've had so far. I can definitely feel like my body's integrating this process now. One thing I really noticed is that my breath really stinks. It's just all those toxins coming out. I think if I breathe on anyone, I'll probably kill them right now. I definitely feel really present. As each day goes along, I'm feeling more and more present, Just, I guess it's because there's less mental chatter. I'm just feeling really grounded. A lot more grounded. I thought coming into this I would not feel grounded. This would probably space me out, because food's quite grounding. But I'm starting to see, the process isn't over yet, but I'm starting to see that in some bizarre way this is actually bringing me into my body. It's actually grounding me. And I guess it's happening because I'm becoming a lot more connected to my body. I'm listening to it. Every single thing that happens within it now, I'm totally aware. Every little feeling that I feel, shiver, whatever just happens through my body, I'm totally aware of it, and I can almost pinpoint where it's coming from. So in that respect, it's actually been very, very grounding so far. There's still a few more days to go, but so far it's been very, very positive. I'm super excited to see what the outcome is of this. So tomorrow's the majority of the group is going to drink water. The fast will end, and that will take everyone to about 3.5 days without water. Although I've decided to push a little bit more and see how far my body can take this. So I've set my sights for about 5 to 6 days of dry fasting still. So I'm probably going to do an extra 2 days if I can make it. So it depends how I feel. Depends how I feel watching everybody go through their process when they're taking their first drink of water. I can really imagine there's going to be a lot of happy people. So we'll see if I can stay strong through that process, which I think I'll be fine. So, the idea for me is really just to push my body a little bit more and see how far I can take this, without causing harm, obviously. But, we're really capable of a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. Our body really is an intelligent, super intelligent machine that we actually don't give enough credit for. I've spent a lot of years abusing the shit out of my body, and I'm feeling really sorry for it. So now I'm just, thought I'd give it the ultimate detox and start from there. This has been a really beautiful relationship that I've been developing and coming back into myself. There's been so many benefits, not only just the physical benefits so far that I've found, but the personal, the spiritual benefits, getting very sensitive with everything and my surroundings, and it's been quite the interesting process so far. I'm really grateful for Ray and the program that he's actually put together, because it's a well thought out program, and he's a great guy. He's really down to earth, and he's human. That's the beauty of him. He doesn't seem like he's some benevolent being floating around on a cloud. He's just one of us, you know, and that's what I love. It's just, he's just a nice dude. So this is day 6. 3 days without water. I don't know how long science says we can last without water, but I'm pretty sure I'm hitting the edge of it now. So let's see what happens in the next few days. Day 7. It was a particularly difficult day today. The group broke fast today, and I decided to push on for another day or two, and it was really, really hard to stay strong while everybody else was drinking and enjoying their water for the first time in 4 days. But you know, I made it through. Here I am. I'm feeling super lethargic, super slow. I came here to find out more about myself, to see the possibilities of what this body can do, you know. And I'm really starting to understand. I truly am. It's a highly intelligent thing. And I think more of us need to actually just listen to it, because it really does dictate to us what we should be doing. And the vehicle that drives us all the time is our mind. And I think we've got it backwards. So my back pain, it's significantly dropped. I mean, you know, over the past few days, it's like it's been releasing the trauma. So it's been significantly getting better and better. It's 70% better already. So I'm pretty amazed, to be honest. I'm really amazed. Maybe it was the foods I was eating that was keeping it, you know. Maybe it was the foods that was keeping it like swollen or inflamed. You know, the wheat. Just this cleanse has really just taken away all the inflammation that I usually have to deal with on a daily basis. That and some trauma release as well. Obviously, that was the bulk of it. But I just feel the biggest sigh of relief. It's something I've been dealing with for the past 5 years. It's constant. I'm actually I'm almost in disbelief that I'm not feeling it anymore. But I'm happy. I'm very happy that it's slowly leaving. If that's the one thing that comes out of this, then I am really happy. I'm overjoyed. So, you know, even though I haven't drank water in 4 days, my spirit's pretty happy right now. Feeling really short on breath. My mind's just at that peak where I can't even think. It's really difficult. Talking is really difficult. Thinking is really difficult. Everything's just been exaggerated. I mean, the fact that we're up at altitude as well, I mean, doesn't really help the situation. But yeah, I'll be moving around very slowly. So in my mind, I sort of set that I was going to go another 2 more days without drinking any water. But we'll see how I go tomorrow. The way I'm sort of feeling now, I'm definitely wanting to drink and just get through with that. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel. See how that goes. But yeah, I'm struggling at the moment. I really am. So maybe it's time to listen to my body. Until tomorrow. Day 8. Oh, what a glorious day it was today. Today was the first day I broke fast. First day I drank water in 5 days. And oh my God, have I never ever in my life been so grateful for water. Oh. I was thinking to myself going into this, I'd be able to push through to 6 days without water. That was sort of where I'd set my limit. But the evening coming into the 5th, from the 4th night to the 5th, my body was just, it was begging for water. It really was. It was just, I couldn't think. I just felt I was all hunched over in bed. My joints were hurting. And it was quite incredible for me because that was a great lesson for me. Because in that whole process, we get carried away and we forget how much our mind is actually leading and pushing this body along. And that's what I was doing, And it woke me up to the fact that, no, your body needs water. It's asking for water. Why don't you listen to it? I mean, I could quite easily push another day if I really, really pushed through, but there was no need. It was time. And my body was asking for it. And I felt really, really happy with myself that I actually listened to my body and actually drank the water. And God, those first few sips of that glass, amazing, just feeling that water trickle down your throat. My mouth was so dry, and the back of my throat was just completely dry, and it was glorious today. Just drinking that water, slowly sipping water, just a tiny glass every half an hour or so. Just getting the body used to it again. Otherwise, if you drink it too fast, you just feel completely waterlogged and sick. So, I did a good job, just drinking a little bit at a time. I'm feeling really good, really happy at the moment. I'm really proud of myself that I actually did this and listened. I just have this newfound appreciation for myself at this point in time. I just have this new level of awareness and gratitude towards myself and my body. Really, this is my body having this trip, and I really neglect it all the time. I focus so much on my mind and my consciousness and expanding that I totally forget really what's running the show is the body. And it's a super intelligent organism that we have. So I'm really rediscovering my connection with myself in that way. And it's a really beautiful thing. Just listening is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm so grateful that I've made it this far. And I'm grateful for that lesson also, that I actually did have to push myself a little bit to find this out. Everybody's been really happy. It's been a great vibe since we all started drinking water. It completely changed everything, I'm still feeling a little bit lethargic at times, but, it's normal, I guess. That's to be expected. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to a really solid, complete night's sleep tonight, which I know I'm going to get. I'm really excited to see where this goes, where the future takes me on this journey. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow I get to drink a tiny little bit of juice with my water, just like 20% juice with my water. So I'm really excited for that, just to have some taste. Really it's not even the craving of juice or water or whatever. It's actually more become about just tastes. So I'm really happy just to drink some diluted juice tomorrow. This process has really simplified my life so much, Really, really showed me what truly is important and what's necessary. Everything else, all my other issues that I had back home and whatnot, I haven't even thought of them. When survival kicks in, you just forget about everything and what's truly, truly important in the moment. It really has become a beautiful practice of presence, this whole journey.
You know, it's all about the now. That's all we have. Day 9, here we are. Finally made it to the end. What an experience. It's by far the most transformational, expansive thing I've ever done in my life. I feel so alive. I feel so happy to be alive. I feel so grateful to be alive. You know, we've just, 40 of us here have just come together and really helped each other and held each other through this whole process. And you know, it doesn't matter the whole fact that we're here actually learning pranic living. What's really going on here is so much more. So much more when a group of people gather together, and that unity that we all have been feeling, and we've all been flying on this just beautiful love and compassion that we share for each other, and really just holding each other and nurturing each other. I mean, it's just so amazing. That's what life really is about. I really got a glimpse today, well, the whole week, but especially today, just everybody sharing their experiences from the week and everything that's gone on. Just how much love and unity there is. You know, the beauty of it is we're all like-minded people, because we all got attracted to this pranic living. And I feel like I have some new family now. And that's the real beauty of this, I think, for me personally, it's the connections. You know, that's what life is about, sharing, having fun, enjoying. And out of all this, the byproduct, I guess, is that we don't really need to rely on food anymore. You know, it's all in our minds. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. It's just a way of thinking. That's all it is. I mean, I just feel I feel like I'm floating. I really feel like I'm floating right now. No money you can't put a price on this. You can't. This is a new way of living, moving into the future. It changes everything, you know. And like I've said, the fact that I'm not relying on food anymore, but I have the option. That's freedom. So I'm just super ecstatic, really blissed out. I'm thankful for being in this beautiful place. I'm thankful for these wonderful, beautiful people I've met, my family now. I'm thankful to the staff that we had here helping us. I'm thankful to Ray for actually having the guts to persevere, because this isn't an easy thing to stand tall with, you know, in the midst of all the judgment, you know, because everyone has their own way of thinking, obviously, and we've all been eating food our whole lives. But to realize that we don't actually need it, we don't need to rely on it, is a beautiful thing. We're really returning back into ourselves now. We had a beautiful sharing circle a few hours ago, and it was just so amazing to hear everybody's journey, where they've come from even, and just the journey of the 9 days and how it was for them, and just everybody just letting everything go, you know, because really this is where we're at now. It's time for us to just let it all go and just start moving forwards and enjoying and co-creating, and whatever that means to you, you know, but it's time. Things are different now, not just for me, but for everybody on the earth. So if you're really thinking about doing this, if you're unsure about it, just look within. it's the most amazing experience I've ever had in my life. It really is. Ray keeps it super simple, cut straight to the chase. The beauty of it, to me, I really identified with him because he's just a guy. He's just a human being like me, like all the rest of us. You know, he's not floating around on a cloud or anything. He's just one of us. And he's the perfect guide for this. He really is. And you know, and the fact that we get to do this beautiful retreat in this exotic place, Vilcabamba in Ecuador, really helps. The scenery is beautiful. The weather's been amazing. The plant life is incredible. And as I've been going through this process, the colours have just been getting more and more and more vibrant, which has actually been amazing me a lot. My perspective of things have actually really changed, you know. Or they've expanded, you know. It's like that old saying, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at start to change. And everything is looking magnificent right now. So I'm excited. I'm excited to move forwards. I'm excited to live my life. It really is a gift to be here. It really is a gift to be on Earth at this point in time. It really is. Everyone who's watching this, you know this. So enjoy it. Enjoy each other. Just let it all go behind you and just start moving forwards. It's time. It's time. So please, if you're not sure whether this is for you, don't hesitate. Honestly, don't hesitate. Jump in. It's a little bit tricky. It's not as hard as you think it is, because you have everyone else to lean on. And it was a beautiful thing to see everybody really just taking care of each other and pulling each other through. You know, some people have hard days on the second day, others have difficult days on the third. But it's just wonderful just to see and just be in a place of openness and compassion and everybody being super vulnerable. And it's so amazing because you really get to see, cut through all the shit that people are really, you know, this whole acting, this facade that everyone puts on. And being here with these people, going through this process, just cuts through all of that. And you can really see the soul of each individual person. And it's such a gift, it's such a treasure to be able to be here and be involved with this. Or to participate in this process. So this is the last day. I mean, I know it's day 9. Day 10 is just an extra day just for everyone just to, you know, get their stuff together, and it's the day that we actually leave. So really officially it's just a 9-day process. And here I am and here we are, and Pranic living. It's the way of the future. That's what's happening now. Open your mind, open your heart to new possibilities. This is Danny. I'm in Ecuador. And I'll see you when I'm looking at you.